I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Now I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Come on, Benny. Every moment, every step I take, with every heartbeat and every breath I breathe, I'm grateful. It's sacred, so beautiful. I feel your precious presence as my life. Now I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Now I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Come on. Every conversation is an opportunity to see the light of love shine as our divinity. It's sacred, so beautiful. I feel your precious presence as my life. Come on. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Let me hear you sing. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. To the bridge. Now I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. Come on. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. Now I don't care how old I am or how I've stumbled down. I've got faith and good reason to let my spirit soar like a phoenix thundering out of its dust to sing a song of truth. I'm not stuck inside illusions or the fantasy of youth. And I rise and I sail and I pour beyond the walls I've built. And I roar like a distant mile, singing to the Lord. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste the one more minute of my life. Come on, y'all. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste the one more minute of my life. I won't waste one more minute of my life. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Tag that. I won't waste one more minute of my life. I won't waste one more minute of my life. Waste, I won't waste. Waste, I won't waste. Waste, I won't waste. Waste, I won't waste.
Yeah.
You're all in a singing Easter mood. This is Ben Dowling on the piano, Cayenne Winook on the drums, Just so grateful to be here with you today, CSL-LA and my brother Keith. So you may remember this, you may not, but it's pretty easy to pick up. It's called We Are the Harvest. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Come on. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. I am. Oh, I am. That I am. Oh, I am. That I am. Oh, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest. We are the harvest we reap. I am. Oh, I am. That I am. Oh, I am. That I am. I am. Oh, I am. That I am. Oh, I am. That I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Come on, one more time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest. We are the harvest we reap. One more time. We are the harvest we reap. Thank you.
Jamie Lula, everyone. Yes. So happy to have Jamie here with Ben and Kyan for our Easter service. Good morning. Good morning. And happy Easter to everyone. I believe not only has the Son of God risen, but the sun in the sky has risen too. So we're happy about that, right? Maybe the rain has come and washed our sins away. I stopped sinning about 11:35 last night. How about the rest of you? I joke, and just a reminder, in the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind, sinning is known as missing the mark in mind. It's not a physical act, it's the way that we think. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and good morning to you all. Happy to have you here. A big hello to those of you that are here in the room. Some are fresh new faces that we haven't never met and seen before, and some are fresh new faces that we haven't seen in a while. So it's happy to see all of you and see those of you that are joining us online. I know that you're all here today with purpose and intention. I'm going to affirm that purpose and intention by reading to you our New Thought text for the day, which goes out sounds like a self-promotion, right? At 7:30 every single morning, you too can get a new thought for the day. And today's new thought is this. On this day of symbolism, of the resurrection, I invite you to have a renewal in your life. Choose to release yourself from the enslavement of ideas that no longer serve you, grieving the death of what was, and allowing your soul to rise and embrace what can be. Let's have a new thought founded in possibility. Yes, right? Let's say amen to that. And so we come together each and every Sunday morning to indeed have new thoughts and the possibility of what can be revealed through us. As a science of mind community, a new thought community, we focus primarily on the teachings, the philosophy, the faith, the way of life, known as the science of mind. It We believe that there is only one activity taking place. Heady idea, I know. But if we can look at it through the lens of everything that is and is happening in life is interconnected. It's all a vibrational frequency of the only thing there is. We call it God, it's called source, it's called the thing itself. Now that's sometimes confusing because we see different facets and expressions of it in front of us in the forms of you and me and the chairs and the flowers and the Buddha and Jamie and Travis and Robert in the back and the lovely individuals that are serving us. It all takes on these different forms. But the form is the outward expression of the thing itself. And so for you and I to live a more empowered life, ultimately having spiritual awakenings, that transpires when we remember who we are as the oneness of life itself, and then do our part in manifesting or demonstrating more of that. How does that happen? That happens by us consciously and purposefully and intentionally attending to how we act, react, and interact with the very thing itself. How we show up and live our life, both through mind and in physical form. And then the moment that we feel like that we're not living up to our own best standard, to take a deep breath in, exhale, release, let go, forgive, and start anew. In essence, that really is what today, Easter, is all about. It's about the death of what was and opening up to the pureness of the Christ, the Spirit of life that is within us. We have before us the most wonderful, beloved opportunity to do that today and each day, because we're individualizations of the only thing that there is, and we both experience it and process it through our thinking. And so we come together on days like this, Sundays and Wednesdays and Tuesdays, and whenever we come together to remember that. And it's through that act of remembrance and release and letting go that we feel it. And through that act, it responds to us by giving us more of itself. The qualities of the divine that we believe in our teaching we're each imbued with this includes peace and power and beauty and joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. I know that you all know that there is that in the room as PPB and PP, 3 L's, we'll go on from there. And that you acknowledge it in each other. I'd like to have you take a moment and just say hello to each other and acknowledge the peace, the power, the beauty, the joy, the light, the life, the love, and the wisdom in the room. And as you do so, I'm going to invite up to our bima, our podium, our one and only Reverend Lenore Edney to take us through our ritual. Say hello to each other. The musicians will come back, and we'll do the ritual of calling in the light. My caffeine just kicked in.
Yeah, something did. Is this thing getting taller?
I know, I forgot to do the calling in the light first. So let me do that first, and then Lenore will.
All right.
Just stay right where you are. We don't go through the whole thing when we wait for us. Yeah, but you can play the piano part underneath it now. All right, so let's. I know I'm confusing Travis. I'm confusing myself, too. So as Ben's going to start playing the song Calling in the Light on the piano, we're going to have a very loose service today. You guys good with that? I say that my message is going to be really formal, just so you know. I did invite my beloved up here to share in this. It brings me such joy when Reverend Lenore comes and shares her wisdom with us on stage. But before we move into her reading, let's open our facet, this part of our service, with calling in the light. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. And the purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning an expansion of the love that each of you just shared, and a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so Reverend Lenore is going to read her reading for us and then do a prayer, an affirmative prayer, and then we'll wrap up this part of the ritual. You can continue. I'll cue you guys when to sing. Cool. All right.
Good morning and happy Easter. Happy spring. It's been a beautiful morning. Today I'm doing a reading from the book called Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. It's a one-page chapter called Our Spiritual Identity Forever Expands. Another way of saying that is we each are evolving, and it is our own individual evolution that is brought about by our willingness to know we are, by divine appointment, by our very existence, to be love and joy, peace, wisdom, light, and all the magnificence that we already are, and I see it shining vibrantly. It is ours to discover our oneness with all that is, and when we do, that is our enlightenment. We have evolved. We have rid ourselves of, we have shed, just like an old sweater, an old worn sweater, the old thoughts and the old beliefs, and the song that was sung at the very beginning, and throughout this day, you're going to remember this piece. That process is a shedding, like you exhale and you breathe in the new. And the light within emanates the uniqueness that you each are. That is the beauty of our existence. We get to dance with the beloved when we see that in each other. So the reading is, limitation is not a thing of itself. It is a way of belief. Unhappiness is a condition. It is not something of itself. So it's us using our brains. Every man has an identity in spirit, and this idea will eternally unfold. It will never grow less, but will always be more of itself, the itself, capital I. What man knows about God, the universal truth, constitutes his real spiritual being, constitutes his personification of the infinite. Thank you. Therefore, the more completely conscious he is of God, spirit, truth, beauty, the more perfectly he will evolve. So let's hop to it today. So I invite you to close your eyes, and I'll say this spiritual mind treatment, which is a prayer. Today, in this very moment, we are jubilant about our existence. This thing that is life means of each of us to express, and quite uniquely, as we each are, that unique expression of God itself. When we open our eyes and see all the beauty, see the spectacular colors, the glorious and majestic nature that is impartial to our experience, we witness the divine. So it is true about each of us. When looking at our own reflection in the mirror, we are witness to even more of the divine as us. Being free of limitation, being free of judgment, we let go and allow the divine to radiate outward from within. And when we do, we are reborn. We are refreshed. We are restored to our first nature, that which is God, that nature that is within. We are without any idea of separation. Instead, we are one with all of it. This is our truth. This new day, we each celebrate a new beginning by being in the reality of what it is that we are, spirit in manifestation. It's as simple as that. All we have to do is let go and allow spirit to express. And we show up as love, and we show up as peace, and we show up as joy. And we dance this very beautiful dance with ourselves and each other. We show up. That's the celebration. Come on, let's play. In gratitude for the expression of life that we each are, we say yes to even more. These words are pronounced, and the law delivers. Together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. So as I light this candle, let's let the light itself be symbolic of all that Reverend Lenore read and affirmed in the spiritual mind treatment. Let's also affirm it as the healing candle. I invite you to feel free, when I give you a moment, to affirm out loud anyone that you'd like to put into the healing flame. Let's do that now. Gwen Smiley.
Jim.
Edward Brown. Feel free to call upon any past in the other world that you'd like to bring in as angels.
Audrey. George.
And let's each know that as these names are spoken, there's a vibratory frequency that is aligned with them. Spirit is interconnected, as I said before, and therefore as we affirm their name, we bring back the resonance of their being. We'll continue that with singing the song Calling in the Light. Jamie and the guys will take us along that. It's a call and response song. They'll let you know when to sing along.
Light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Here's where you sing along. I am love.
I am love.
I am peace.
I am peace.
In my heart.
In my heart.
I am free.
I am free.
I am spirit.
I am spirit.
I am soul.
I am soul.
All together.
All together.
We are whole.
We are whole.
Come on, y'all. Calling in the light. Calling in the light. Calling in the light of love. Calling in the light. Calling in the light. Calling in the light of love. Calling in the light of love. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is. And so it is.
So it is.
And to thank you to Reverend Lenore and our beautiful musicians, and to remind you that indeed when one affirms calling in the light, Spirit responds and answers, and it shows up and walks through the door. Light. My affirmation for light is living in God's healing truth. I love that because it prompts within each and every one of us to ask ourselves, well, what the hell is God? Who's that? What does this mean to me? And to give ourselves the opportunity to define and redefine the energy, the thing itself, and to ask ourselves, how are we using it? Right? Are we using the power, the thing itself, in a way that is propagating more of itself? Because it always responds by corresponding to us. We have the great opportunity before us to not only be the power and the presence of God in a new way, but to honor that by these three expressions of light here. As many of you know, Jamie and I have a long, rich history, and it's long and it's rich, and I cherish every moment of it, as I know you do. Ben, who is new to us, we were informed, or in our exchange this morning, Ben is a longtime Science of Mind practitioner. You think mind works, right? He shows up, we were talking, so I honor you for that path that you're on, and of being like mind and sharing your gift with the world. And I don't know if you guys remember, Kyan was with us on our first big, it may have been our first Sunday back in the building after COVID, but it was certainly our first Easter Sunday back in the building. So we're so happy to have you back here with us as well. So let's honor these three gentlemen and them sharing their gift of music with us and their spirit. Take it away.
Thank you. I'm just honored. I've known Benny for a really long time. He produced my first solo record, Something's Calling Me. And he's just such a brilliant producer and consciousness and player and storyteller. And I'm grateful. And for Cayenne as well, who I've known for well over 30 years now. I knew him when he was a kid. I still think of him as a kid. So this is a new song, so I'm reading lyrics here, but it's based off the Ram Dass quote, "We're all just walking each other home." It just kept coming back to me, and we're all just walking each other home. And I'm kind of grateful for my wife, who's walked me home for so long. I was exclusively my pain. I isolated out of shame. No one could understand the marrow of my Jones. We're all just walking each other home. Yeah, we're all just walking each other home. I never felt like I belonged in sacred circles with my song. You pulled me back and said, please don't go. We're all just walking each other home. Come on, y'all. We're all just walking each other home. Yeah, we're all just walking each other home. Ooh. Build walls around me paper thin. They kept you out but kept me in. My heart knows better than to be defined by what I know. We're all just walking each other home. Oh, we're all just walking each other home. Oh, we're all just walking each other home. Oh, stay here while I open to the safe place you provide. This heart that you have chosen, I know I'll never need to hide. We're all just walking each other home. Oh, we're all just walking each other home. Oh, we're all just walking each other home. 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 Last time, we're all just walking each other home. Oh.
Such depth and meaning to those lyrics, Jamie. I'm assuming that's an original Jamie Lula song?
Started out and then grew to Floyd, and it became a
Floyd Lula song. You'll hear Jamie refer to Floyd Lula often, and that's one of your musical partnerships with Gary Lynn Floyd, an amazing musician as well. One of the things I love about that, the message of that song is it reinforces our interconnectedness, that we're walking each other, meaning that we're consciously taking care of our brothers and our sisters on our journey. But not just walking each other home as a destination. It's through that recognition of the namaste in life. That it's the energetic connection that we share with each other, that we're walking home as in a remembrance of who we are as a divine being. I'm sure many of you in your lives have Easter traditions. Do you? Good. Once it stopped raining yesterday, I went out for a walk with my beloved four-legged spiritual offspring, Sweetie. And she was quite wound up because she had been inside and unhappy, and went for a long walk and came back, and there's a new bar on Santa Monica Boulevard called The Wild, I think. Anyway, the guy invited me in to have a Mexican hot chocolate. You're wondering, where am I going with this, right? And I'm so excited that it's dry out, and I'm having a hot chocolate with marshmallow, and he said, would you like it spiced? And I was like, duh. So I had my little tequila, actually it was Kahlua that was in there, and having a nice little time, and he came out and said, would you like to dye an Easter egg? And I said, excuse me? And he goes, would you like to dye an Easter egg? And I said, no. And Sweeney winked and said, good call, Daddy. But what it made me realize is the ritual of dyeing Easter eggs that happen in our world that I've been far removed from, not being a child or having children. But I want to continue a tradition this morning. That was a real long build-up for this, right? I want to continue a tradition this morning of sharing a story that I share every Easter with you, and it's this. And if you've heard it before, which many of you have, wait for the last line, because you'll cherish it as I do. A man was driving along the highway when saw the Easter rabbit hopping across the middle of the road. He swerved to avoid hitting the rabbit, but unfortunately, the Easter bunny jumped in front of the car and was struck by it. The basket of eggs and candy the rabbit was carrying went flying all over the place. The driver, being a sensitive human, as well as an animal lover, pulled over to the side of the road and got out to see what had become of the rabbit carrying the basket. Much to his dismay, the colorful rabbit was dead. The driver felt so awful, he began to cry. Not laugh, cry. A woman driving down the highway saw the man crying on the side of the road and pulled over. She stepped out of her car and asked the man what was wrong. I feel terrible, he explained. I accidentally hit the Easter rabbit and killed it. Children will be so disappointed. What should I do? The woman looked at me and said, do not worry. I know what to do. She went to her car trunk and pulled out a spray can. She walked over to the dead, limp rabbit and sprayed the contents of the can onto the furry animal. Miraculously, the Easter rabbit came to life, jumped up, spilled the eggs and candy, waved its paw to the two humans, and hopped down the road. About 100 feet away, the Easter rabbit stopped, turned around, waved, and hopped down the road. And then another 100 feet, he turned again, waved and hopped down the road, and continued and turned and stopped and waved. And the man was astonished. He couldn't figure out what substance could be in the woman's spray can. He ran over to her and asked, "What is in your spray can? What could you have sprayed on the Easter bunny to bring it back to life?" She turned the can around so that he could read the label, and it said, "Hairspray." It restores life to dead hair and adds a permanent wave. Now, this morning throughout the world, thousands of religious leaders are not telling that joke, right? But they're seeking to explain what this 2,000-year-old celebration of a far, far more ancient rite means in terms of our lives today. Easter, as we're here to celebrate, is indeed a myth, but it's also the holiest day of the Christian year. And it speaks deeply to each one of us as a concept and a learning tool. Most of the religious and the spiritual leaders will be concerned with who and what Jesus was and how we should look at the death and the resurrection from the perspective that Jesus, the man, died for us, specifically for our sins, and why we should be eternally grateful for his doing so, even though in many's eyes, many of us don't deserve his salvation. Now, this story of Jesus and the resurrection and the crucifixion isn't a new one, actually. It isn't a new one, and the manner it was told wasn't done so for the first time in the account of Jesus of Nazareth. You'll find the death and resurrection story in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, written centuries before Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, approximately 1,300 years prior to the story of the birth of Jesus. Now, why does this matter? It matters because it shows that this story and many others from this era were used for the purpose of teaching and educating humanity on the differences between right and wrong, how to lead a life that's better than they knew before. And this story was, along with many others, were so often created in a way to create examples as a manner to influence those by the leaders of the time, and most often to encourage those individuals of humanity to live in fear. And let's take a moment and realize how the exchange and dissemination of information in that time has changed dramatically just in our lifetime. Now, let's remember that the story of Jesus of Nazareth and the one in the Book of the Dead was certainly pre-Twitter, certainly pre-Facebook. It was pre-printed word. And let's try to put in perspective the way that story was told a minimum of 2,000 years ago and even potentially 3,500, all prior to the National Enquirer, to People, and to so much more. But it doesn't mean that the story doesn't have value. If one is to look at the story of Passover and Easter, that there are similarities just as with the pagan celebration of the spring equinox. These stories were being told and retold in a way to remind us of the opportunity that we have in life to begin anew. My dearly beloved friend, Reverend Dr. David Alt, who was with us a couple of Sundays ago online, shared this several years ago leading up to Easter. And he did so in print, actually online. I printed it. So it's this. And yet this year, with the search for new ways to deliver a familiar message, I'm continuously struck with how vital it is for all of us to continuously examine our relationship, reaction, and response to the activity of death and rebirth. We often die many deaths: death of belief, death of loved ones, death of careers, death of relationships. And with all of this upheaval, we're instructed to be of good cheer. We're told that the apparent absence is really no absence, just evolution spiraling upward. The great thing about such a time as Easter is to remind ourselves that this cycle is normal and necessary. Resisting it brings on pain and suffering. Realizing that it's the inevitability realizing that it is the inevitability of life to shed and rebirth itself into new forms can assist us in cultivating an ease around becoming too attached to the form around us. I'm going to read that again. The great thing about such a time as Easter is to remind ourselves that this cycle is normal and necessary. Resisting it brings on pain and suffering. Realizing that it is the inevitability of life to shed and rebirth itself into new forms can assist us in cultivating an ease around becoming too attached to the form around us. It was the Buddha who said, "The root of all suffering is attachment." The root of all suffering is attachment. And in the Tao Te Ching, we read, "If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you will try to hold on to." Take a deep breath in and take that in again. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you'll try to hold on to. If you're not afraid of dying, there is nothing you cannot achieve. The Easter, we're not speaking, obviously, of the physical death. We're talking about the death of form, the death of ideas, the death of ideology, the death of attachment to life continuously being the same. The Easter message then becomes the essential message on what truly being alive means. I invite you to explore this idea of your personal rebirth with me today, Dr. Alt wrote, as we open up to new levels of self-awareness around our degree of livingness. Easter is really all about how we're choosing to live anew. From the magazine Country Living, Charles M. Crow writes, "Easter tells us that life is to be interpreted not simply in terms of things, but in terms of ideals." The question that we get to ask ourselves time and time again is, what ideals am I holding in life for myself? And are they serving my highest good? And do they reflect and represent my understanding and acceptance and conscious participation in that which is spiritual truth? Clarence Hall writes, "Easter says you can put truth in a grave, but it won't stay there." What that means for you and I is we can deny the power that we have within us to be restored, to be reborn through our thinking, through our acts, through our reactions and interactions with life itself, but it in and of itself will never diminish. It's always there for us. That's what is represented as the energy form that took place again in the body of Jesus when the stone was rolled away and he was no longer there. That life itself is infinite and continuous, and it lives within you and within me. His death was representation of the death of the old, so that the new may show up. In the Gospel of Mark, it reads, "Early in the morning, on the first day of the week, Mary of Magdala and Mary, the mother of James and Salome, came to the tomb as the sun was just rising. And they said among themselves, 'Who will roll away the stone from the door of the tomb for us?' For it was very large. And they looked and saw the stone was rolled away, and they entered the tomb and saw a young man sitting on the right, covered with a white robe, and they were astonished. But he said to them, "Do not be afraid. You seek Jesus the Nazarene, who was crucified. He has risen. He's not here. Behold the place where he lay." So often this story is told with an attachment to what Jesus represents in the modern world. But it's important for us, should we choose to agree to do so today, to open up to what Jesus really was, not the man, but the force. He was a man who became consciously aware of his Christ nature a little over 2,000 years ago. He represents that quality within us that knows we are individual expressions of the universal presence. Now, he happens to be the great exception only because he unfolded fully into his divine nature. We like to look at that in the teachings of the science of mind as the example, not the exception. He really was the great example, our way shower, because he told us that we can do the same thing he did. He assured us that we can accomplish our Christhood as the only begotten child, meaning that we too have within us this principle of life to fulfill our destiny in the sense of letting our divinity guide us through life as opposed to our humanity. It's living from the I am that I am-ness. Now, Jesus Christ, or more appropriately, Jesus the Christ, is that fulfillment of the divine potential in human form, once again reminding us of what's possible for us. But what matters in that life was both the crucifixion and the resurrection. So let's look at the resurrection through metaphysical sense. Metaphysical meaning of the resurrection is this: it's the restoring of mind and body to their original undying state. This is accomplished by the realization that God, the power, is indeed spirit, and that it created the human with the same power that it possesses. When we realize this, our mind and body automatically becomes immortal. From the Bible it reads, "If the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwelleth in you, he that raised up Christ Jesus from the dead shall give life also to your mortal bodies through his spirit that dwelleth in you." What is that telling us? It's telling us that the power within us is infinite. But for you and I to get to experience more and more and more enough, renewal is required. A renewal of mind, a renewal of thought, a renewal of definition of the thing itself, and a renewal of how we use our mind. This teaching is indeed called a new thought philosophy. And I say many, many times, let's not forget what that requires of us is having a new thought. So true. So there's no mistake that Easter and Passover comes at the time of spring, that time of renewal. Charles Sunburst writes, "Blossom by blossom, the spring begins." So today I invite each of us to begin to look at what lays before us in the form of opportunity as spring within us. To look at, just as the blossoms show up in life, so can the experiences of our life. But to remember that before the blossom could take form, a seed must have been planted. A seed that laid in the fertile soil of creation, ultimately becoming a stem, which then emerged through the ground, which became then the part where the blossom expressed itself. That's the same for you and I, that we must plant the seed within us, a remembrance, an awakening of what's possible in life. And so today, let's give ourselves a gift of crucifixion. A crucifixion, the death of the old way of thinking, so that we may give birth to that which is new. Joseph Campbell writes in regards to the crucifixion, "If we think of the crucifixion only in historical terms, we lose reference of the symbol immediately to ourselves. Jesus left his mortal body on the cross, the sign of earth, to go to the Father with whom he was one. We similarly are to identify with the eternal life that is within us. The symbol at the same time tells us of God's willing acceptance of the cross, that is to say, of participation in the trials and sorrows of human life in the world, so that he is here within us, not by way of a fall or a mistake, but with rapture and with joy. Thus, the cross has a dual sense. One, our going to the divine, and the other, the divine coming to us. It's a true cross-ing. And so today, let's look at that from the perspective of we are being invited, given the gift, to let go of what was and to begin anew. Joseph Campbell also writes, we must be willing. We must be willing to get rid of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. That life of walking each other home, if you will. The old skin has to be shed before the new one can come. If we fix on the old, we get stuck. When we hang on to any form, we are in danger of putrefaction. Hell is life drying up. The hoarder, the one in us that wants to keep, to hold on, must be killed. If we're hanging on to the form now, we're not going to have the form next. You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. Destruction before cremation. Is right. And so today, as the stone of the past is rolled away in your mind, give yourself the gift of not just fixing what you think needs to be fixed in life, not just take on the responsibility of making something happen in your life, but open up. Open up and surrender to the life force that is within you. Its nature is peace and power, beauty and joy, and life, light, and love and wisdom. That's your nature too. By opening up to those alone, life in and of itself shall change. Spring is here, and maybe the rain is gone, but the rain is nurturing that fertile soil so that the seed may become the blossom. Virgil Craft writes, spring shows us what God can do with a drab and dirty world. Let you and I let go of living in a drab and dirty world today and be the blossom. Thank you. So I'm going to invite the gents back. I started to call you the boys, but you're not boys, you're men. You're men. He's off the cross. There you go.
I like the saying, get off the cross, we need the wood.
That's right. You know what Jesus said to St. Peter?
What?
Yo, bro, I can see your house from here.
So I wrote this song on a Good Friday at a meditation service at Agape. Probably 25 years ago. And I went and sat down. Kathy Mack had done the meditation, and I went and sat down at the piano, and I don't play the piano, but I found the song on the piano. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your I don't know what the divine plan is. Can't make sense of what I can't see. Yet I know that it's in order beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Serenity is not the absence of life going on around me. It's the stillness I find at any moment, and the truth that sets me free. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender, I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Come on and sing it. Into your hands, oh Lord. Sing it out, sing it out, sing it out. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord. Yeah. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord. Let me hear you sing a little louder. Into your hands, oh Lord. Oh, into your hands, oh Lord. My Lord, sweet Lord, below.
You know, I'm noticing a theme of walking hand in hand and into your hands, right? What a reminder that for all of us to walk in life with our hands open, to give in life with our hands open. Our beloved founding minister, Dr. David Walker, used to say, one cannot give with a clenched fist. And that's both from the perspective of extending a hand to give in life, but it's also about opening up to life itself. It's about energy of opening up and sharing in that, of walking hand in hand, right? And knowing that when we hold the hand, we are surrendering to the hands, my Lord. The Lord that we speak of is what we redefine it as. That's what I was just speaking about. You know, we just spoke about rolling away the stone and opening up to what appears to be the darkness in the cave, the emptiness, but it's not. That darkness that we see is that fertile soil that's waiting for us to tend to it so that the blossom may rise up. So thank you to all of you for being here today and for bringing your light into this beautiful room so that we may celebrate this wonderful day called Easter, so that we may share in the consciousness of each other as we evolve into a higher framework of mind, of that remembrance, of being ever so grateful that we're here with each other by means of knowing that you're all our brothers, our sisters, our children, our parents, our fathers, that we're all one expression of life, individualized. My favorite Ernest Holmes quote of all times is, "Spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you." And my addition to that is, and you and I are the Christ itself. We're it. So let's walk that way today as we move on from today's Easter service. As we end in just a moment singing "Love Is My Decision," I'm going to invite you to know that there are beautiful little cupcakes out there for you, and cookies, and they've been put together in the most beautiful form of flour, sugar, and probably a little margarine, and some whipped topping with your name on it, and some tea and coffee. And it's not about just ingesting those products, it's about interacting and ingesting each other as spirit. A thank you to our musicians this morning, Jamie, Ben, and Kyan. And my thank you to you is not just for being here today, it's for being you. You know, I don't know exactly what it takes for you all to get together to be here today, but I know the time and energy that you guys put into one Sunday service, and it's a lot, and thank you for that. And many of you guys do more than one on a Sunday. Some of you are out there doing 2 or 3 of these on an Easter Sunday, or other jobs and other gigs, and so thank you for shining your light and sharing your gift with us. Thank you. Thank you, yes. Thank you to Travis Smith, who's also working diligently and very committed to giving us the best audio presentation possible, and our technology connection, as well as to Robert Hensley, our administrative assistant. It's so great to have him back, not only in the room, in the house, but in the country. You'll see our Reverend Lenore standing up and walking towards you all. It's time to support our community with conscious giving. I invite you to take, let's all stop for just 1 second and let's take a deep breath in. And remember that as we consciously give and participate, we are extending our hand to participate in the good that is the universe, that we are sharing the good of life so that we may all grow. And so as that is unfolding, I'd like to invite you all to know that you can also support our community by going to our website, CSL-LA.org, as well as you can use the app in the App Store. And so I know it feels a little bare with no music underneath us, but let's believe that the music of the divine is playing for us. And I'll remind you that as she's continuing of us participating in the flow of good here, to remind you, if you're new to us, you can check out our website, csl-la.org, to see the goings on of our community. We're in person the second Sunday of every month. This was a special day, and it is indeed a special day. All the other Sundays we are on Zoom, as well as we do a midweek morning meditation every Wednesday morning at 8:30. And you can check out all of that online and sign up for the New Thought Text of the Day, which I shared with us earlier today. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to close with a spiritual mind treatment prayer. And then from there, our gentleman will take us out with "Love Is My Decision." And so can I get some piano music underneath me, please? Thank you. So if it feels comfortable to you, I invite you to close your eyes. The great Dr. David Hawkins, with the Map of Consciousness, says that the vibrational frequency of love is the precipice, it's the turning point from fear to power. It's going from fear to the thing itself. Love is what does that. And our teaching, love is defined as the self-givingness of spirit whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself. It's always doing that by means of you and by means of me. So right now, we surrender to any attachment to what was. I affirm for each of us that we open up and allow it to radiate through us in a greater way than ever before. Greater meaning unencumbered. And so in our mind's eye, we see the totality of what was in our life being crucified, and knowing that that's a good thing, because it then gives us the opportunity to be placed in the fertile soil, the tomb of creation. And so we each plant the seed today. The seed of intention, of renewal, of restoration, and of intentionally living life, walking each other home, and putting our hands in the metaphorical hands of the divine. And with that, we feel peace. We feel love. And we feel joy. And so as I extinguish the light on this candle, in our mind's eye, we see it becoming the light within us. And it's this light that we let guide us on our journey. The journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And just like the Easter Bunny stopped, turned, waved, and then hopped on and stopped and turned and waved, that's symbolic for each of us of starting anew and carrying on and stopping and taking a deep breath and turning around and waving goodbye to that which we're releasing, and then hopping along the way some more, and then stopping and turning around and waving goodbye as we release and release and release. Continuing to shine our light, to receive good, and to be the joy of the divine. Letting love be our decision. Feel free to sing along.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision, my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now. One more time. My decision, right here, right now.
And so it is. Hallelujah. Namaste. Yep. Have a great Sunday, everyone. Enjoy the cupcakes.
I done my